Are you fed up with the hype that crashes as fast as it climbs, dragging your investments down the drain? Let's take a look into this year's watches and wonders, where not all that glitters is gold. We're talking about the cold, hard truth of the watch market and those coveted models that vanish without a trace. We'll explore the ups, the downs, and the tough lessons about speculation that might just make you think twice before you leap on the next big thing. So sit back and let's navigate through the murky waters of watch trading at Watches and Wonders 2024. Yachtmaster 2. Starting with a big headline this year, the discontinuation of the Yachtmaster 2. This 44mm model was available in steel, a mix of steel and rose gold, and also in lavish yellow gold. It seems it wasn't a crowd pleaser, and honestly, it doesn't come as a shock that it's leaving the Rolex lineup. Apparently, this yellow gold version doesn't usually steal the spotlight in the market, despite having a few die-hard fans. Datejust 41. Moving on to another piece that's bidding farewell, the Datejust 41 with the motif dial. This model came in a couple of cool shades, a deep dark blue and a light mint. Both of these colors were also available in the non-motif versions and even made appearances in the Sky Dweller collection. Now, just a day after the discontinuation news hit, prices online soared. Talk about 0 to 100 real quick. But let's keep it real, even with its unique flair when it's sitting in the showcase. More often than not, folks end up choosing the more understated plain dial. It seems that when push comes to shove, simplicity wins over busyness, even if the motif does command a higher price. Mans Daytona. Let's talk about one of the standout watches that took its final bow in 2024, the Mans Daytona in white gold. Now, it's a rare sight. Seeing one in person is almost like spotting a unicorn. This model made its debut around the Le Mans race last summer, and believe it or not, its production run was less than a year. Replacing it, and already turning heads, is the new yellow gold version. It's decked out with white subdials, a striking black dial, and a yellow gold case and bracelet that just scream luxury. Now, about the original Le Mans Daytona, its market value skyrocketed from around $150,000 last year to over $200,000 recently. It's shaping up to be a collector's dream, much like the Rainbow Daytona, which, for those out of the loop, is an off-catalog gem set piece that once hit the $1 million mark. Here's a little scoop. Not many of these watches have made it to the grey market, and just last week we heard about a potential deal that unfortunately fell through. It seems like this watch is destined to keep climbing in value. So if you're one of the lucky few with a Yachtmaster 2 or a Datejust 41 with the motif dial, what's the move? If you're sitting on one that's just been discontinued and can sell it for more than you paid, our 2 cents, cash in while the market's hot. As with all fresh discontinuations, there's usually a rush of buyers willing to pay a premium, but remember, markets always find their level eventually. Before we jump into the watch discontinuation, why not consider subscribing to Opulent Oasis? Stay ahead of the game with our insightful content. Let's keep the momentum going. Pepsi GMT Master 2. Let's kick things off with the Pepsi GMT Master 2, a watch that's been the talk of the town, or should we say, the star of the show, in countless forums and comment sections. Despite the buzz, it's still here, hanging around for at least another year. If you've been keeping up with us, you might remember we hinted that it wasn't likely to be discontinued this year. Seems like we were on the money with that prediction. Now, there's been a lot of chatter about its imminent departure, and sure, it's bound to happen someday, but not just yet. This has caused a bit of a stir among dealers who've been riding the hype wave, a practice we're not exactly fans of. Our advice? Buy it to wear it, not just to stash away. That way, if it doesn't get discontinued anytime soon, you're still rocking a great piece without any regrets. GMT Sprite and OP Celebration. Let's move to a couple of watches that have been stirring up quite a bit of excitement, namely the GMT Sprite and the OP Celebration. Both of these models have been surrounded by serious rumors, and yet they're still sticking around. As per our exclusive authorized dealer intel, They just moved our last one right before the Watches and Wonders discontinuation event. I mean, the hype train was at full speed, but in the end, no discontinuations here, which honestly didn't really surprise us. Day date olive. Now shifting gears to another timepiece, the olive day date. For those not in the loop, this is a stunner in 18-karat rose gold with a 40mm case and a striking green anniversary dial, fondly nicknamed the Olive Day date. There were whispers it might be discontinued, especially with the release of the new rose gold model featuring a gradient grey-black dial. A real beauty, by the way. But despite the rumors, the Olive Day date hasn't been discontinued. Prices did spike a bit on mere speculation. It's a classic case of market reactions to rumors. Price jumps on whispers, not facts. At Opulent Oasis, we always say, don't buy into the hype. It's easier said than done, but the savvy move is to sell when the hype is hot and buy when the market dips. That's how we advise our viewers, though we know it's tough to play the market like that. So for those who may have been swept up in the anticipation, we're keeping our fingers crossed that next year might be a big year. But for now, none of these timepieces are going anywhere. So what's the deal if you're sitting on a discontinued Rolex like a Yachtmaster 2 or that motif dial? Historically, these models haven't been superstars in demand. Our take? It might be a good time to cash in. Here's the thing. Buying into the hype is like betting on a horse because of its fancy name rather than its track record. Our philosophy has always been about choosing watches that you genuinely like and would enjoy wearing, something Watches and Wonders this year really underscored. For those who took a gamble hoping for a discontinuation boost, here's a bit of friendly advice. If it pans out and your model gets discontinued, great. But if not, no sweat. You chose something you love, right? That's what really counts, especially if you're rocking it as your daily driver. But let's say your watch didn't get the axe, what then? Well, if you jumped on it due to the hype and paid top dollar just before it stayed in production, you might want to sit tight a little longer. If you snagged it at a decent price before the hype inflated values, and you're not attached to it, selling might be the smarter move. Get your investment back and maybe a bit more, then move on. Regarding price corrections, they're pretty much inevitable when a model doesn't get discontinued. Expect to see this across the board. Yes, even with favorites like the Sprite, the Pepsi, and the Celebration, across both Jubilee and Oyster bracelets. We often get asked during these shakeups about the best move. If you're not keen on keeping the watch, our suggestion is simple. Sell it sooner rather than later. The longer you wait, the more you risk a drop in value, especially as the discontinuation speculation cools off. Looking to switch gears or refresh your collection? Don't let the grass grow under your feet. Make that move and sell. Hope that helps. So what do you think about Watches and Wonders this year, folks? Did any of the news about discontinued models catch your eye? Or maybe you're just chilling with your trusty timepiece, watching the hype unfold. If you liked our chat about watches today, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment sharing your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button for more informative watch talk. And while you're at it, why not check out our other videos? We've got plenty more where that came from. Catch you later, watch enthusiasts.